Welcome to another edition of One Take Only. I'm George Phillips with oilpressure.com. This is my convenient friend John McClellan and our very special guest every August, Paul Dalby from formerly More Front Wing. But it's been a while since we've done one of these. We even, two of us, I think we did one after Indianapolis maybe, and that was about it.
Yeah, I haven't done one yet.
But a lot of racing going on. Well, actually, we're in the midst of 2 weekends in a row without racing, but
that's the one thing I don't like about this schedule.
Well, at least we have 2 races in August this year.
But we got some budding news coming up, though. We got the news that to make the schedule better for in the next year or two, we've got Mexico they're talking about, Mexico City, and of course Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, they don't know there's going to be Mexico City.
Well, whatever. Where are they going to put it in Mexico?
There's a lot of tracks.
But it was Mexico City.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
that's
too,
the
Paul.
most likely, but it's not. I mean, not set. But there's some.
We got to get that. You know, that thing about. Oh, I know more. You know, but yeah, okay. Well, whatever.
Anyway.
Down international.
But funny you should mention the proposed Grand Prix of Nashville because.
We went there last night.
We did. We went there last night.
We went there and looked at it?
Drove around the stadium, and I will say this, the part that they're proposing to go right alongside the river, between the stadium and the river,
narrow.
Very narrow.
Narrow. Two lanes. So now, 12-foot lanes. I mean, you're talking a 24-foot wide track. You're going to knock off probably 2 feet on each side for a wall and fence.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're looking at an 18-feet track. It's going to be very, very narrow.
That's going to be single out. That is not a passing zone.
No, and
into or out of that straightaway,
I think I've got some information though about that. Part of the deal, from what I know, is that these guys are going to take up. I don't know how they're going to do it. Sidewalk and curbs, pick them up, and then replace them afterwards.
Well, they may have to. I mean, because it's
you can't use that now.
But
way too narrow.
But then there's another interesting area where you kind of, because you'd think it'd be all flat, but there's one section where it's probably going to be turn 1 on the track, but it kind of goes over a hill and drops down, and then you go immediately into the 90 degree.
It's not what
right-hander.
50 feet from the crest of that hill to the tight right-hander when we turn 1.
You don't like that?
It's going to be interesting.
It'll be a blind turn on the brakes. Turning hard into a passing zone. Yeah.
Let's just say that will be part of the charm of the track.
Well, it's going to be an interesting layout. Let's say that. I don't know that it'll produce interesting racing, but it'll be an interesting
Reminds me a lot of Baltimore, though. A lot of very sharp, just straight curve, straight turns. No real characteristic turns.
Set with a stadium in the background.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting, but Tony Cottman's been here. He's looked at it. Kind of came up with a design, so we shall see. But talking about schedule, this coming weekend we have Pocono, and 2 out of 3 of the people sitting at this table will be there.
I think that's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, but
because I'm one of those too.
Yeah, I know.
And the most fantastic thing is you're the one that's not.
Well,
so
I'll be watching on television.
You got a better view than we will.
Well, I'll DVR it and then I'll come home and watch it on television too.
Although that view that we had last year from turn 2 on top of that billboard.
Yeah, that's
pretty spectacular.
Yeah, and but we're not supposed to talk about that because
we're spotters.
Where nobody can get up there. But
we are spotters.
They did send.
They confirmed our credentials.
They sent people up there to go get those clowns off that wall, and they saw we had credentials, so they left us alone. But
that is just awesome. Oh, you guys are just great.
It really is. You're exactly.
You're jealous.
I am not. I am. Believe me.
So unbecoming.
That is a very cool view, though. When they come out of that long turn 1, they're coming straight at us, and then they hit turn 2. It's just 90 degrees. They don't even.
I'll be watching that. I think next week I'm going to be at Center Hill Lake, friend's house. We're going to get ready for.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It is great.
But we're going to 4 weeks left in the season. 2 ovals, 2 natural terrain road courses. Yeah, 2 natural terrain road courses. So
we're invading NASCAR's road courses.
I
got
know
Watkins Glen, the real version, and Sonoma.
Yeah, because they put in
the real version.
Yeah. So
I still don't like Sonoma ending the season, though.
I don't either.
I don't like. I mean, let's throw out the double points. I mean, I think most people agree that's kind of silly. Sonoma just does not produce season-ending type excitement that you really want to see.
It doesn't look good on the television.
That race is typically decided Saturday afternoon in qualifying.
That race strictly exists because sponsors and clients like going there, and as unappealing as it looks on television, I understand. I've never been out there, but I understand that the surrounding area is beautiful.
Beautiful facility.
Do they serve wine?
I'm sure they do. In fact, they even serve the winter wine in Victory Lane.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But
I'd rather have milk when I win a race. No, go ahead.
Crickets.
But I agree.
We all understood what I meant.
I don't think. I haven't liked it for several years. I don't like Sonoma being the finale. I think you want something to really end on a positive, exciting note. Sonoma just doesn't do that. I know, and Sonoma does not produce that type of racing.
Chicago was always a good finale.
That was a great finale.
Texas was a good finale when they did two races a year at Texas.
Even Homestead wasn't bad.
Hey, wasn't it at Chicago where Dixon ran out of gas there at the very end and lost the points, lost the championship?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I do remember that. You are right.
I thought he lost the race, but he still won the championship.
I don't think he lost the championship.
Oh, okay, right. He lost the race, but he still won the championship. They had to tote him in.
Yep.
But, of course, I love Fontana at the end of the season. But we all know what's happened there. It's just, they say it costs more to run the lights than it does than making
I want to go out and watch a race at Fontana in the middle of a Sunday afternoon in June.
No.
Or July. When did they run the last one? Was it in July?
It was in late June, I believe.
Yeah, it was brutal.
And it was even brutal at the beginning. I'm sorry. It was even brutal at the beginning of that of the night race because it started at twilight and it was hot then.
All right, let's get back to the now though. Let's talk about the rest of this season.
You got 4 people within what 23 points or something, or is it closer than that?
Well, you got the 3 Penske's. You got Newgarden, Elio,
Dixon's in third.
But who's
and
the other?
Pagenaud.
And Power.
Power's, I think,
I wouldn't have thought Power would be the odd guy out.
Power is the most unfortunate. I mean, the things that happened to him, particularly at Indianapolis, it's really not his fault.
He's the most unfortunate contender at this point. I think the most unfortunate driver in this entire season, though, has got to be Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Oh gosh, it's just he's got to be frustrated.
I mean, when his career is all said and done, he's going to look back at the 2017 season and just shake his head.
I feel like it's been that way for him for the last couple of years. It's not a new thing.
Yeah, for the past 2 500s, it's just horrible. I mean, he was that dominant car.
Oh yeah, because 2 years ago, or 16, he was dominant car.
He got taken out by
Townsend Bell took him out, his teammate.
This past year, that was the best part of the race was his duel with his driving teammate.
But also, and then this year,
Alonso?
The
other guy that got no mentions this year.
Yeah, and of course, ironically, they both went out with failed Honda engines.
Yeah. So are they going to do Honda next year? What is this?
We don't know. It's going to create if they do switch to Chevy. It's going to create a whole series of dominoes because Sato will be out at Andretti. There's
Rossi.
Good talk that Rossi will be out of there, and I think you and I were talking last night. Rossi might end up at Ganassi.
I think he's a perfect fit at Ganassi.
Wonderful.
I think he'd be because right now Ganassi's got Dixon,
and that's it.
And that's it right now. I think they'll go down to 3 cars. I really do.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Rossi at Ganassi.
Because it looks like Kimball and Chilton may go to Carlin if that materializes. But still, Kimball doesn't have anything in stone yet. And unfortunately, Tanah may be out.
Hey, would Brian Herta be a package deal with Rossi to go to Ganassi?
I don't think.
No. I don't know.
I can't see Brian Herta and Chip Ganassi in any type of partnership.
Well, they had a partnership before. Brian Herta ran for Chip Ganassi back in
95. And that's why I say that. They parted on very bad terms.
That's true.
So,
But he's a buddy of Brian Hardy. Besides Andretti, he was running for Schmidt.
Well, yeah, and I think he's a buddy of Honda, so I think he stays where Honda is welcome. So I don't think he goes back to Andretti if Andretti goes to Chevrolet. I think Schmidt may be a good spot for Brian Herta.
what about Hinch at Andretti if they go to Chevy?
Not a bad call.
It could happen. He drove Chevrolet there before.
I've heard whispers about that, but I haven't heard anything real strong about it. But I kind of like that because
I do too.
I think this is going to sound bad. I think Hinch is a better driver than what Schmidt has given him.
I do too.
And that may be related to the Honda, but the Honda engine's been strong this year. But
yeah, I don't know. I see Hinch staying at Schmidt.
I think he likes it there.
I think he does too.
But I'm not sure they're giving him the best possible ride that they could.
Well, I don't know that Aloshin is chipping in and helping out much there. Right?
Yeah, I
think there's too many questions surrounding that entry. I don't see that entry going forward next year.
Yeah,
at least not with him in the driver's seat.
And that's another thing I've heard is Rossi possibly going to Schmidt to team with Hinch.
That'd be a good combination, but I just think
I don't
Rossi.
see Rossi's he's a hot shoe.
I think Rossi and a Ganassi.
Yeah, me too.
I mean that's got success written all over it.
Yeah.
The only question, that his personality I think is so like Scott Dixon's, cool, very kind of introverted, doesn't kind of lets his driving do the talk.
Yeah.
Is there going to be that free flow of communication that Ganassi drivers are known for, coming from Rossi and Dixon? What sort of compatibility would they have on the same team? I just don't know how.
I think it would take some gelling time.
Yeah.
I think there would definitely be.
You look at the drivers Dixon has worked with before, with Kanan and Dario and Weldon, all those guys.
Thomas Schechter.
Yeah.
But
all those guys.
All those are guys very extroverted,
Darren Manning,
very experienced.
Right.
They can help set up the car. They're giving good feedback. I don't know that Rossi obviously has a lot of experience, but not still a whole lot of experience in IndyCar.
One thing I know about him, and when I was listening to the radio feedback on.
Sorry.
The radio between he and Brian Herta during his Indianapolis 500 win, that he did everything Brian Herta told him to do.
Sure.
So,
Touch and go.
Touch and go.
Kept him out there.
Okay. Speaking of feedback on the cars, what do y'all think about the 2018 car?
I like it.
I like it.
I want to see it in person. I look forward to that.
I'll tell you, I like the. This is going to be weird coming from my background, but I like the road course car better than I do the oval car.
Okay.
I am having a hard time with that rear wing.
I don't care for that rear wing.
And I know they don't really. They could probably take the rear wing off, and they really don't need it because they're generating so much downforce from the bottom of the car. Mm-hmm. It just it doesn't look balanced in my eye. It looks very odd, very odd looking.
Remember back in. I'm going way back, but back in '93 when they shrunk the rear wings, I always thought those looked very unsubstantial.
Sure.
It was just.
But they still look like they belonged on the car. They're so thin and frail now with these new ones. With they have the integrated end plates on them. They don't have the separate vertical end fences or end plates. It just something doesn't look like it belongs here. And if we were shooting, if half of the goal of this car was to make it look more traditional, make it look aesthetically pleasing, I feel that's the only part they missed, was that rear wing. I think the rest of it, I think it's a beautiful looking car. I would still like to see the nose, a little bit altered, but I think you're getting kind of nitpicky there. I love the lowered rear, the engine cowl. Not quite as low and flat as I thought it was going to be.
Well, and I think the reason that we say that, because I agree, I know what you're saying, but they put and I don't know what they call it, that little vertical ridge.
Spine.
Vertical wicker. But it stands up about that high, it looks like.
It does.
And it kind of makes the whole back end look bulky, because the original renderings that we first saw didn't have that, and it looked better than what we're seeing with the car on the track.
Yeah, you mentioned that 93 Lola. Remember that rear cowl used to be almost perfectly flat.
Yeah.
And you had the V8 turbos. I don't know if those old V8s were shorter and it allowed that cowl to be flat, or if it is, like you said, the vertical wicker. but it does still look a little bulky back in that rear end.
But it still
A
looks
massive improvement.
Yeah, but it
Huge
still looks a lot
improvement.
better than having this air box on there. I've never, from '97 when those cars first came out, I never liked the
Airbox.
the air box from the naturally aspirated cars. And then when they came out with the turbos in 2012, I was thinking, great, they're going to get rid of the air box, and it took them what, 6 years to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to
The rest
the
of the
points.
Yeah.
We got Newgarden leading right now by what? Is it 7 points?
Sounds right.
Over Elio. Who do y'all see taking the whole thing?
Newgarden.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I think so.
Boy,
It's
Newgarden. I'd like to say Elio, but I don't feel that he's going to get it done. Boy, Newgarden is hot.
Newgarden's
hot. I wonder what he's going to do on the ovals. You know, obviously he's had success before on the short ovals. Has he? Yeah, but has he had much success on the big ovals? Because we were looking at the big oval this weekend.
You know, he
didn't run bad at Indianapolis before.
No,
so.
but you know the thing too, though, Paul, is that it appears to me like he's coming into his own now.
I would agree.
He's got that beautiful Penske car and the team, and you know, it's finally clicked.
And well, finally, I think it's clicked amazingly fast for him.
Me too.
I look back at
course.
Pagano a couple of years. It took him a year to get into the Penske system.
his first year with Penske was
Pretty rough.
Yeah, it
pretty
was.
rough.
And
But Newgarden's had I mean, what did he win? About his third race?
He's already
at Barber, right? Didn't he win at Barber this year?
Yeah.
So what would that have been? Second, third race with Penske? That's pretty quick.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
quick for him to get in the winner's circle.
And,
You know the thing-
and he's still in his first season. He's already got 3 wins
Yeah.
with Penske.
And he didn't just come out of left field. He
No.
beat the Carpenter team with Fisher and Carpenter. That was a really good. I don't want to say AAA team, or
Right.
whatever, but,
No,
but
they-
my God, they
they're a lower tier. I mean, a
That's right.
second tier team.
But they were
they're the best, I think, in the second.
So, but getting back to the question, something tells me Newgarden isn't going to keep it going. I know here in Nashville that's hard to say, but my head is really thinking that Dixon could still pull it. You go to Watkins Glen. Now, ironically, Dixon, one of his worst races this year was at Mid-Ohio, which he usually dominates.
Yeah.
But I don't expect to see him fall on his face again at Watkins Glen. He's always strong at Sonoma. And the Hondas are very strong at Pocono.
So
The question for him is going. The
The
question is going to be can he survive Gateway and not get wiped? You know, will Chevrolets wipe the floor at Gateway with them this
Gateway,
year?
you know, you bring up a good point. Gateway is sort of the wild card.
Very wild card.
Because well,
Been
Dixon
there a
has
long
Dixon has raced there.
He has raced there.
And so has Elio.
But I think that
was a
race
long time ago.
That race is going to run very similar to Phoenix. The track, the way that setup is, and Chevrolet was untouchable at Phoenix, and I think we're going to see something like that at Gateway as well. So I would look for Penske's to be strong. Obviously, Ganassi, they could be out there in one of our cars, and those are still going to run strong. But there are certain limitations, and I think Honda is going to be, or Ganassi will be playing with one hand tied behind their back there at Gateway. So they've got 3 races to make hay, and I one of them being double points at Sonoma. So my gut still says Dixon. When all is said and done, I think Dixon is going to.
So Dixon's your choice.
I'm going to go with Dixon for the
Who you
championship.
going for?
I'm going to go. Paul, you make some great points. There's no doubt about it. But I think that it's going to be a lot of fun if Newgarden does this. So I'm really. It's not that it's so much just a pick as I'm pulling for Newgarden.
Okay, so
I'm going Newgarden.
So who's your pick?
My pick, Newgarden.
Okay, Dixon, Newgarden.
Elio.
I'm going with Elio.
You're predictable.
I'm very predictable, but I think that as much as I like him, Nashville kid and all, I think that Newgarden's already been hot. 2 races in a row. I think he's going to cool off here at Pocono. I don't wish that on him, but I think he's going to. And I think that he's still young. He does not have the experience to put a championship together yet. He will be a champion one day, I feel like. But
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I don't think it's going to be this year. I feel like Dixon has think he's off his game right now. I really do. And I think Elio, I'm pulling for him, but I also think he may win this by default because he's been pretty consistent all year long. And I don't see him having a disastrous race over the next 4 weeks.
I don't see him having a disastrous race unless, of course, it's something screws up in the team.
Yeah, but
or just bad luck. I mean, and, you know, some of these it's such a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Pocono being so big, I think your chances of being taken out by a back marker are a little reduced.
Look at how we got taken out last year with Rossi flying over the top of him.
That is true, right? That is true.
So
that is true.
There's always that chance.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so Newgarden, Dixon, Elio. We'll see.
Okay.
I think you called Dixon last year, didn't you? Or was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Made us look like fools.
I know it.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
That's a rare thing. That's rare. That's rare. That's rare.
Okay. Anybody got anything else?
I sure don't. Other than Ray Hall had a.
He wants to talk about Ray Hall. That's the second time. All right.
Graham
Ray Hall Foundation.
That's right. Good
Graham Ray
I
Hall
saw that. And
yeah.
I wanted to say something about Graham Ray Hall, and there you go. Okay. Well, Graham Ray Hall, you know, he's coming into his own if they can get everything, you know, to keep the team up. I like Bobby Ray Hall. I always like that team.
I still think there need to be a two-car team, and Sato will be his teammate.
No, Sato's not going to Ray Hall. No, they want somebody that can run consistently well. Sato has changed this year a little. I'll give him that.
They need the money, the Honda money.
Have you seen the side pods on Andretti's car this year? There's no money coming in there, I don't think, very much. You got Panasonic.
Panasonic.
Yeah, but that's not enough to keep a second car.
I mean, you're not going to put Honda on the side. Honda's giving some money.
I could see, you would mention Brian Herta, I could see Brian Herta going on to the second, bringing his team, whatever form that is, bringing that to Ray Hall. Now, if you put Rossi with Ray Hall,
boy,
that would be formidable.
That would be.
I think you could see Rossi go to Ray Hall. Serbia maybe go full-time next year with Schmidt. He's already running with Schmidt for running the 2018 Aero kit.
You know, you're right. I've never not thought about it, but yeah, Rossi going to Ray Hall would be awesome.
The more I think about it, the more I think about it, the more I think of Rossi and Herta being a better fit as a team at Ray Hall than Rossi going and plugging into the 10 car. Oh, I just did that, didn't I? The 10 car.
The 10 car.
Yeah, Mr. NASCAR.
Yeah, the number 10 entry at
well, it is the 10. That's what it is, though. Paul.
The entry.
It's the 10 car.
Anyway, so
you
got your Ray Hall plug in.
You're chomping at bed. I'll let you go.
Okay.
You want to go get in the pool, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
So
not because the rain's about ready to come.
It's not going to.
No, that's blue sky over there.
Oh, look at that.
Anyway,
we're gonna go fly his drone maybe some more.
So for John McClellan and Paul Dalby, I'm George Phillips with OilPressure.com. Thank you for watching.